Hello guys, and welcome back to my video. So in this video we are going to be finishing up with our home screen before we move on to getting categories from Firebase Firestore. So we are going to be building this menu right here. So without wasting much of the time, let's dive into the code and let's start making things happen. Okay, so what I'm just going to do here, I'm just going to copy this padding. I'm just going to copy this, and then I'm just going to paste it below the categories, right? So I'm just going to change this to your food. Okay, is so that we must make sure that it's similar to the one on our Figma. Okay, so once we are done with that, we can now move on to start creating our menu. Okay, so with that, let's first make sure that you wrap this sized box with a padding, right? Let's wrap it with a padding. Let's wrap it with some padding, and then let's make sure put the constant here, and then let's remove these constants inside padding widget, right? So as you can see from our emulator, these categories are close to the edge, right? So I just want to give them a nice padding so that we get this spacing between the edges. Okay, so without wasting much of the time, let's start building our menu, right? So let's start building our menu. So now let's create, inside our features folder, let's create the menu folder. So inside the menu folder, what we need is we need the widgets folder. We also need the models folder. We also need the repository and the controller. And then we need the controller. All right. Okay, so the controller must be inside the menu folder, not inside the controller. Okay, like this. Right, so what I'm just going to do inside the models folder, I'm just going to create a file called menu model. So as always, we are going to be using Freest, right? So I'm just going to create an abstract. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going in our category model, I'm just going to copy our category model, and then I'm just going to paste it inside our menu model, and then let's change this to menu, and then let's also change this from category to menu. Then it's supposed to be menu from JSON. Okay, so now what do we need inside our menu? So we need image title, then we also need description. We also need the description, and then we also need a price. The price will be of type double. And then we also need the quantity. And then we also need menu ID. So So this by default must be required. And then we also need the category ID. Category ID. Okay, so that's it. And then let's run our command for generating phrased models. Okay, so this must be required. Okay, as you can see now, we have like menu model and then the menu model.g.dat. Okay, okay, I forgot. We also need a list of ingredients, but okay, we'll deal with that later when we start integrating ingredients, right? So now basically what we can do is let's go inside our fake data model, right? So inside our fake data model, let's create fake data for our menu. So it's going to be static final list. We need, it's going to be a list of menu model, and then menu is going to be an array. So in that list we are going to populate it with the menu model, right? So the menu ID here, in this case the ID is going to be 1. And then what else do we need? So let's check. If you go inside our assets folder and then inside our food, we have this food. You can see here we have barbecue pizza. So if the title, we can just put the title as barbecue medium. Okay, and then we need a description. So the description we are going to use, the description we are just going to get it from Lorem Ipsum, right? So Lorem Ipsum is just a website that provides you with some dummy text, right? So let me go there and then let me just generate some random words. Right, so let's paste it. And then we need also the price. So the price, let's say it's going to be $6.99. And then what else do we need from the menu model? So if we can check from the menu model, price, description, image, and then we also need the quantity. All right, so the quantity we can just say maybe 700 grams. 700 grams. So that's it for the menu model. So let's copy it and then let's paste it below. Also, I forgot the image. We also need an image. So the image is going to come from the assets. Inside our assets folder, / food, and then / it's going to be barbecue pizza .jpg. So you can get these images from the GitHub repository from the link in the description, right? So let's copy this. Let's just paste it below. And then let's change the ID to true. And then let's change this to barbecue steak. Right, so let's change it to 500 grams and then let's change the price. And then here where it's written barbecue, we can change it to barbecue steak. It's supposed to be webp, Okay, web p like this. All right, so if we can check this, this is the image. All right, so the next one, we can just copy it and then let's paste it below. Let's change the menu ID to 3, and then let's change this to chili pepper pizza large. Chili large like this. All right, so let's change the price to 15.00, and then let's say 1200 grams, something like that. Okay, so inside, it's also inside our full folder. It's inside the chili. The file is called chili pepper pizza. The format is also WebP. All right, and then let's paste another one below. It's going to be, the main ID is going to be 4, and then it's going to be Coca-Cola. So it's, let's say it's going, this one, this bottle is usually 300 mils if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so it's going to be Coca-Cola .png, Coca-Cola.png, and then the next one is going to be Fanta. So the price, let's say the price, it's going to be something like $2. Okay, paste another below. Maybe it's going to be 5, and then let's change it to Fanta. Okay, so it's 0.33 mils. So let's say it's something like $50. Okay, so now we are done. I think we can just add one more. So let's give it 6, and then let's name it sushi. Price, let's say $9. And then it's supposed to be sushi.jpg. All right, so that now we are done with this, we can move on to our widgets folder. So we can go into our menu folder, and then widgets folder, menu, and then inside our widgets folder, and then inside our widgets folder, we are going to create what we call the menu item widget. Okay, menu item widget, and then what we are going to do is we are just going to return a container. We are going to return a container. So this container, we are going to give it a height of 150 and also a width of 150. All right, like this. And then we are going to have a column widget. The child is going to be a column. Also want to put like children inside the column. And then the first one is going to be the image, right? So our menu item widget is going to take in the menu model. And then inside here we are just going to put required this dot menu model. This dot menu model like this. And then we are just going to paste in the image. And then inside this image, what we are just going to do is image.asset. It's supposed to be image.asset because it's coming from our assets folder. So I'm just going to pass in the menu model.image like this. All right. And then the fit is going to be boxfit.fill. Boxfit.fill, and then height of, we're going to give it a height of 100, and then a width of 100 also. And then a width of 100, okay. And then, so to give like our image some nice edge, we can wrap it with a clip rate widget. So we can wrap it with a clip rate widget, and then we give it like a border radius. So the border radius must be border radius.circular. Border radius.circular. Then the radius is supposed to be 20, and then let's make sure that this image is centered. Right, so below that image, what we need is a title. So the title is going to be a text widget. It's going to be a text widget, and then it's going to be menu model.title. It's going to be menu model.title .toString. So we need to convert it to a string. Unfortunately, text menu model.title. Okay, it's supposed to be outside this center widget. So let's copy it below this. It's supposed to be below this. All right, and then we need to give it like a style. And then the color is going to be black. And then we need a font size of 12. And then a font weight. Which is font weight.w600. Okay, so let's make sure, and then let's wrap it with a padding widget, right? With some padding, because we don't want it to be close to the edges. And then the next thing is we also need another text widget that's going to display the price. So I'm just going to paste it below. Just going to copy this and paste it below. And then for the price, what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to open brackets and then /$, and then I'm just going to pass in the menu dot price like this. So it's supposed to be menu model dot price like this. Okay, so now we also need the last item that we need is the quantity. So I'm just also going to paste it below here, and then I'm just going to change this to menu model dot quantity. Okay, all right, that we are done. So now that we are done with this column widget, what we need is, if you can see from our Figma layout, we have these icons right here. We have these icons right here. We have the favorites icon, and then we'll also have this shopping bag. So let's just export this favorite icon right here, and then let's export this shopping bag also. All right, so I'm just going to copy them from my download folder. And then what I'm just going to do is inside our assets folder, we have the icons folder. So inside the icon folder, I'm just going to review this folder inside my Finder. If you're using Windows, you can do it inside the Windows Explorer. So I'm just going to paste these items here. So let's rename it. So let's just rename it like this, favorite, and then let's also rename the shopping bag. Okay, like this. So now let's start working with this. So we need to wrap our column widget with a stack widget, right? So we need to wrap it with a stack widget. So our column widget, let's wrap it with a stack widget. So we can, to wrap it with a stack widget, what we can simply do is we can wrap it with a column widget, and then we can just come here and then change it to a stack widget. So let's go to the bottom of this column widget right here. So under this column widget, that's when we are going to work with our favorites and also the shopping bag. So we are going to use a positioned widget. So this positioned widget, you have to give it like a position. So we want 10 pixels from the top, 10 pixels from the top, and then 5 pixels from the left. 5 like this, and then we also need a child widget. So the child widget is going to be image.asset, because it's coming from our assets folder, and then it's going to be assets / icons, and then / it's going to be favorite.png. And then we need to give it a height of 15 and then a width of 15. Height 15 and then a width of 15. All right, so let's copy the same positioned widget. Let's paste below. But in this case, we need from the top okay, so let's copy, and then here it's supposed to be from the top 10, and then from the right it's supposed to be 5 from the right. Okay, so now we are done with our positioned widget. So now let's create another widget. So I'm just going to call it menu widget.dat. Okay, so it's going to be a stateless widget, and then let's rename it to menu widget. So what it's going to return is it's going to return a grid view. Grid view dot builder. So here we need a sliver grid view with fixed cross-axis count, right? So the cross-axis count is going to be 2. The cross-axis count is going to be 2, and then the child aspect ratio is supposed to be 2/3. And then we also need physics. And then we also need physics. So we need a clamping score physics. And then make sure you just put a constant. And then we also need item count. So item count is going to be fake data dot menu dot length, like this. And then we'll also make sure that shrimp wrap is equal to true. And then inside the item builder, make sure that sliver create with cross-axis count. Just make sure that you put a constant before it. This is going to take in a context and an index. A context and an index. All right. A context and an index, and then we are going to return so in this case we are going to return menu item widget. We're going to return menu item widget, and then for the menu model, what we are going to return is we are going to return a fake data dot menu and then index. Okay, so we are done with our cross-axis. So we are done with our grid view. Now we need to pass this inside our home screen. So if we go into outside our home screen, after this padding here, we want to pass in the all categories widget, all menu widget, and then we need to wrap it with inside a padding, and then let's wrap it inside constant like this. Okay, so let's reload our emulator and let's see if there are any changes. So as you can see, this is our emulator running, but we still have, like, I think we made a mistake with, let's go back to our menu item widget. Then we need to change this icon to shopping basket. We need to change this to shopping bag. We need to change this to shopping bag, and also And also we forgot about the inside of container, we need to decorate it. So we need to decorate it. We need to give it a color of white. And then a radius also. For the radius, and then for the radius dot circular of 20. Then let's reload. Then you can clearly see now. We now have, but you can see that our items inside our grid view are close to each other. It's because of the cross-axis spacing. So we forgot to add a spacing. So let's go inside our menu item widget, our all menu widget, and then inside this cross-axis spacing, if we give it a spacing, of 2, let's see if our menu now is appearing. Yes, it's appearing, but I feel like these images are not coming out as I wanted them to come out to be. So let's check what's the issue. Okay, so inside our menu item widget here, let's give it a constant sized box, a height of 40, height of 40. And if we check from our Figma, let me check from our Figma, you can see that 166 by 110. Okay. And then we also have this image here, right here. So we'll add that later. Okay. Let's see. Then it's coming out nice, but now our images are a bit smaller. So let's check what's going on. Okay, so the width is supposed to be 166. Okay, so let's see. Right now. Okay, so I feel like we need to wrap this with a padding widget. That's why there is no spacing between these items. Okay, now you can clearly see now we now have a spacing between these items right here. But I feel like we should increase the size of our icons here a bit smaller. So let's go inside our positioned widget. So the height, let's change it from 15 to 20. Right, so now what we can basically do is auto reload and then check the icons. Yes, now the icons are a bit big, but now you can clearly see. Let's see if it's coming out well. So these are close to the edge. Ours are. So what we can basically do is, yeah, inside our, we can change this to cross axis alignment, cross axis alignment dot start, and then main axis alignment dot start also. So once we are done with that, now you can see now they are close to the edge, but you can see now they are close to the edge, right? It's like this. But there is more spacing here, so that means that we need to give them like more spacing. So padding edge insert dot, so we can provide symmetric, and then horizontal, let's say 20. Let's also change it to symmetric, and then horizontal, let's make horizontal is also 20. All right, let's check if it's coming out well. Okay, yes, they moved inside, but now they are close to the image. So what we can basically do is we can use a size box to separate them. Size box, a height of 16, basically give it a height of 16 here. And then also give it another height of 16. So let's check. Yeah, now you can see it's coming out nicely here. Okay, so I think we can proceed, and then let's change it to this height right here. Let's change it to 60. I think 60 might be okay. So if we change it to 60, yeah, now you can see now we have like our menu item is now coming out. So yeah, that's it guys. So in the next video we'll be getting like our categories from Firebase Firestore. Thanks for watching guys. Cheers.